So I'm tired, I'm cranky, I'm no fun, I can't poop, and I have to go to work. My wife's mad at me. It's like the worst day ever, and this was happening like multiple times a week. Pizzas are like $36 if you get a good pizza. So I'm paying $36 to ruin my day. Does that make any sense to you? Why the f would I do that all the time? So you're thinking about starting the carnivore diet, but you don't know how to start and you're scared. Well, let me put your mind at ease. All you have to do is stop eating carbohydrates. If you do that, the only thing left to do is eat meat or eggs. Presumably, if you're considering this diet, you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, or presumably you're going to stop being one or something. But what I mean is you're probably open to eating meat, which is what you need to do, really. You have to. I don't know this for an absolute fact, but it seems to me that you cannot be healthy unless you eat meat. And I would almost venture to say you have to have a carnivore diet to be healthy as well. I know for me personally that I've felt dramatic improvements in my life since I decided to go carnivore 2 months ago. I lost, I think, around 30, well, no, is it 30 pounds? Yeah, about 30 pounds. I wasn't carnivore the whole time at the beginning of that weight loss, but I transitioned into it, and yeah, the weight just falls off. You really don't need to give it any second thoughts. If you're trying to lose weight, just try it for a week. Try it for 3 days. Try it for 1 day. You will lose weight immediately. And it will just keep dropping every single day as long as you are strict and stick with it. And you should want to. If you're seeing results, you should want to continue. There should be no hesitation. There should be no regret, or it should not cause you any hardship if you're doing it right. One thing I see people do, which I think is really, really bad, is they attempt to keep their old diet while starting a new diet. And what I mean is they'll try to eat treats. They'll try to get dessert or replace snack foods. Like if they were a big chip eater, maybe they get pork rinds and snack on that instead. And I think that is okay nutritionally. It's not that bad, or maybe it's not bad at all, but it's a habit and it resembles the old habit, and I think reinforcing that habit is not what you want to be doing. You want to be changing your life. You don't want to be suffering with substandard snacks, you know? Like, nothing beats a potato chip. You can't beat that. Nothing beats a tortilla chip. You can't replace that with something that's not made of corn. You have to eat the real deal. Nothing beats chocolate cake. You can't make a keto chocolate cake or a carnivore chocolate cake. That's just not a thing. It's always going to suck. It doesn't taste good. It'll give you diarrhea. You have to just give that stuff up. And the great thing is, when you start carnivore, you will give up those foods because you will not have an appetite. You will only have an appetite as long as you are hungry. And then when you are hungry, you will eat meat for appetite before, if you've been eating carbohydrates. It's a wonderful feeling to just not want food anymore. People, Buddhists spend their whole life trying not to want things, trying not to want food, trying not to want pleasure. And here's one way to do it. Just eat the things you're supposed to eat, and you will no longer want to eat anymore. You will get some peace. You will get a small portion of the peace of mind that a Buddhist achieves through sheer force of will. But yeah, all you have to do is give up these garbage foods. And I think the key, trying to get back to the topic here, the key to starting this is to feel miserable, I think. Admit how miserable you feel and admit you need to change something. What I did was I binged on rice. I had changed my diet from eating, pizza and french fries all the time to eating home cooked meals with meat and rice. I would do like 4 ounces of rice, of dry, uncooked rice, and then like a can of tuna or a couple hamburger patties, something like that. And that would be my meal. I would cook the rice, obviously. And that was an easy meal I could make in my Instant Pot. Just toss it all in there, push a button, and it'll be ready in less than 20 minutes. It was cheaper and faster than going out for fast food. And doing that, I was able to lose 10, 15 pounds, something like that. But the issue is, I got kind of bored with it, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure if it was really boredom. What ended up happening was I would increase my portion size because I just wanted more food. And maybe that ties in with the weight loss. Maybe the more weight I lost, the more food my body was craving. I'm not sure. But what I ended up doing is doubling the amount of rice I would eat. Sometimes I would pour a little extra in. I would weigh it out on a scale. And sometimes I would accidentally pour a little extra in. And then I'd go, oops, oh well, I'll just eat it. And so then I would. And over time, doing that just kind of made me feel okay about eating more. And yeah, eventually I ended up doubling it. So then I was having 8 ounces of rice and sometimes more meat, sometimes the same amount of meat as before. But what a way to cause problems is to double your intake, Clearly I was getting by just fine on 4 ounces and then I doubled it. If you just double it, it's going to cause problems. Anyway, point is, my weight loss stalled. I may have even gained weight, I'm not sure. But the main issue I was having is I was getting all clogged up with rice. I was spending way too much time on the toilet. I was feeling full and bloated all the time. I was getting tired. The thing about running your body on carbohydrates is once you use up the ones that you've stored, you get really tired. And also, when you eat them, you get really tired. You're basically tired all the time. So if you're thinking about starting carnivore and you think about it and you're tired all the time, and by the way, I don't literally mean all the time, I mean frequently. Like, if getting tired is interfering with your day and it's not yet bedtime, you're eating wrong. That's something you need to realize and take charge of, because you can change that. You should change that. You must change that. You will change that, actually. You're going to start today. But yeah, I was getting really tired. And if you can imagine this, my wife did not like me being tired all the time. She did not like me being on the toilet all the time. And when I would go to work, I would get tired and have a miserable work day because I was tired and I wanted to go home and go to bed. So one of the immediate benefits is you're going to stop being so tired all the time. Now, I do want to caution you that if you're not eating enough, you're still going to feel tired. In fact, you might feel more exhausted than you've ever felt if you've never gone without carbs for a day or two. People call it the keto flu. You're going to be fatigued and lightheaded. But if you eat enough protein and eat enough fat, you shouldn't feel that bad. And I promise you, that bad feeling does go away. It goes away and it never comes back. Once you stick to a proper diet, aka meat, once you just eat your meat, you feel way better. I feel great every day. because I stopped eating anything that isn't meat. I have a tiny bit of dairy. I might have a piece of cheese on a burger or some cream or milk in my coffee, but that's about the extent of it. And I don't crave anything, is the thing. Maybe once or twice a day, I will suddenly, just all of a sudden, feel an urge to eat. And it's not really that painful hunger that I was so used to before. It's just like all of a sudden, oh God, I need to go eat something. And then I do, I just go get some meat. I either cook up a hamburger or I go to a fast food place and just get a bunless burger and just instantly feel better. As far as my energy level goes, though, it never dips. I just get sleepy. There's a difference, I think, between sleepiness and tiredness. I would get tired a lot on carbs. I would have no energy. I didn't want to move. Once I sat down, I didn't want to get up. I could feel it coursing through me. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I want to talk about that for a second. After I would eat like a pizza, and by the way, I would eat a whole pizza myself because it's not satisfying and it's so delicious that you just have to keep going if you're like me, which you probably are if you're thinking about carnivore. You sit there after you eat your pizza, and if you pay attention to how you're feeling, you can feel what I can only assume is insulin coursing through your veins. You can feel something going through your whole body, taking over. I've compared it in the past to being drunk. It's very similar to feeling that lazy stupor of getting really drunk. There have been many times when I've tried to quit eating pizza, and every time it was because I was aware immediately after eating it of how bad it made me feel. Obviously, it feels great when you're eating it. During the eating, it's fantastic. It's hard to beat pizza. It's like salty and moist and warm and chewy, spicy and fruity, and it's just the greatest thing ever. And that is why we can't have it, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, like immediately after, it feels bad. Not only did I eat so much that it hurt, but then it would make me so tired. I would just sit there on the couch, feeling these feelings, not want to move, and then before you know it, I'm falling asleep, and my whole night is basically ruined. Like, you eat your pizza at like 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock if it's movie night, and your night's basically over at that point. So what I was experiencing, in addition to all the physical effects of eating a bad diet, it was wasting my time. Like, I think my day basically ended at like 3 p.m. because, I'd be talking to my wife. We'd be like, what do you want to do for dinner? What should we do tonight? And then inevitably we come up with some delicious food that we want to get. And now our goal is essentially, how are we going to get that food? And then we get that food, and then we eat that food, and then that food makes us fall asleep. So it was essentially shortening my day because my possibilities were drastically reduced from the point that we decided to get dinner. And I just got really tired of that. Sometimes I would want to do some things. Maybe I would have a project, or maybe I want to make a video, work on something, and then, what do you know, I'm fucking asleep. And then I'm just pissed off because not only did I waste my whole evening, my whole afternoon even, but I paid out the nose for it. Pizzas are like $36 if you get a good pizza. So I'm paying $36 to ruin my day. Does that make any sense to you? Why the fuck would I do that all the time? Why would I do that ever again? It makes me really mad when I think about it, and it would make me mad every time it happened. But this food, this poison. It's not even food. No, it's food, but it sucks. These carby foods are so addictive. They will make you ruin your day every day. They'll make you pay to ruin your day, and you'll just keep doing it over and over, no matter how bad it feels. The thing that made me turn the corner was having one of these experiences. It was loading up on too much rice right before work. So I ate my 8 ounces of rice and whatever else. And then I was tired on the couch. I work nights, by the way. So it was like dinner time. I eat way too much. I'm tired on the couch. And then I'm dreading going to work because I don't feel good. My wife is mad at me because I'm not doing anything. I'm not having fun. I'm not interacting with her. I'm just sitting there feeling bad. And then, finally, I have to go to the bathroom, get my business taken care of before I go to work, right? That's the ideal situation. You don't want to have to do that while you're at work. And then I'm sitting there, not able to go because I'm clogged up with fiber because I've been eating rice every day. So I'm tired, I'm cranky, I'm no fun, I can't poop, and I have to go to work. My wife's mad at me. It's like the worst day ever, and this was happening like multiple times a week. It was more often than not that this was the situation. I think a lot of people probably feel that way, and that's why they're so grumpy when they go to work. It's because they're physically unwell, and they've had a bad morning or a bad day leading up to their work. That was certainly the case for me. If this resonates with you at all, please make a change. Do a carnivore diet. It's no worse. Like the bad feeling that you get at first when you quit your addiction to carbs is no worse than what I've just described. Really, if you think about it. The daily carb intake is probably worse than the keto flu ever could be. Keto flu is just you're lightheaded and you're a little bit fatigued. That is much more pleasant, especially because you know when you're getting that bad feeling, it's because you've made a positive change. It's because benefits are coming. You can just redirect that bad feeling into a good feeling because you know it's working. You've done something to change. What you've done is having an effect, and it's going to go away, and it's going to be replaced with good feeling all the time. Okay? Now, I don't know if I've made my case. I don't know if this has been an effective presentation, as it were. This is all off the cuff. But if you found this at all compelling, I urge you, please, please, please try it. Please do it. It's going to help you. And if you need any more convincing, which you will, please binge watch a ton of carnivore videos on YouTube, because that is the way to make a change in your psychology. We are social animals. We need social reinforcement for any new idea. Every new idea is scary. You are going to lose confidence when you do this alone. The great thing is there is a huge library of videos. There are people coming out with new ones all the time talking about positive experiences, positive reasons, good reasons to do this thing. And you will lose motivation if you don't immerse yourself in a culture which promotes this behavior. That's basically the deal. We live in modern Western society, maybe global society. We are so dominated by the food industry, big sugar, big wheat, big corn. This culture has been built up in advertising, in stories, in just daily life for so long that we are so immersed in it, it's just impossible to imagine doing anything different unless you are being encouraged by other people. And it is so wonderful that there are people out there sharing their experiences, sharing knowledge, so we can have more confidence and have a feeling that we're not alone in this. So yeah, the next step needs to be pursue this. After this video ends, watch another one. Put it on your headphones. Listen to people speak about their positive experiences. Listen to people speak about why carbohydrates are bad for you, why protein is good for you. The more you learn about the benefits and the more you learn about the drawbacks of your old diet and the more people you hear from, the easier it's going to be to make this change. You cannot do this alone, I'm sorry to say, but you didn't come up with this idea alone. If you did, you wouldn't need to be watching videos on it. You heard about this from someone, it intrigued you, you thought it might be a good thing, and so now you're listening to people talk about it, so you need to do that more. That is what I've been doing for the past 2 months. I've been allowing myself to be influenced. You have to allow yourself to be brainwashed, basically. As long as it's a good idea, there's nothing wrong with getting brainwashed. You know? Brainwashing is only bad when it's a bad idea, but so far so good, folks. It's been a solid 2 months. I just feel better and better every day. I've dropped all of my excess fat off my body. I'm at a healthy weight. I'm at the low end of the BMI scale for healthy weight for my height. And then the weight loss stopped. It just stops when you've lost enough. You don't have to worry about getting too skinny. You will be as skinny as you are. And then you will stop being any more skinny. Like, people have, like my mom, have commented to me about how I'm getting too skinny. But the fact is I've stopped, first of all. And the second thing is, I'm just as skinny as I was when I was fat, except I'm not fat anymore. Does that make sense? Like, this is the body I had underneath all my extra fat, and now the fat's gone, and this is just what's left over. I haven't dropped any muscle mass. I haven't changed. I haven't lost any bones. I haven't lost any organs. I have less fat on my body. That is the only thing that has changed. And so to be concerned over that is to be promoting being fat, which makes no sense. Like, that's the opposite of what we're all trying to do here. So it's just ridiculous. And Mom, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, but you got to knock that shit off. That is ridiculous. Okay, anyway, I was trying to wrap it up, so I'm going to try to wrap it up again. Please, 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 next step, watch another video. Doesn't have to be my video. You could watch Ken Berry. You could watch Anthony Chafee. You could watch the Primal Podcast, or whatever it's called. Those are all good. I'm sure there's a ton more good people out there I just haven't found yet. Kent Carnivore, he's good. I've been watching him lately. Yeah, there's so many good resources, so many good little YouTubers out there to get immersed in. You can just go nuts on it. Every video you watch is gonna make you more confident. If you ever need reassurance. A great one. There's an hour and a half or so long podcast. It's called Diary of a CEO. And I can't remember the guy's name at the moment, but there was one I watched about cancer research. This cancer researcher, like an 80-something-year-old guy, talked about how cancer works and how he's cured cancer in the past, or, he's seen people cure their cancer by essentially going on a carnivore diet combined with treatment. It just obliterates the cancer and it won't come back if you don't feed it. Anyway, that's a whole other topic I'm not going to get into. Please brainwash yourself. Please change your diet. Please lose weight. You'll feel better about yourself, about your body. You'll waste less time being tired, pooping, and farting. You will have a great time. You won't have to spend hours deciding what to eat. You won't have to waste time cooking. Like, it's the simplest thing in the world. Just get some meat and make it hot and you're done. You just eat it up and you no longer want food when you're done eating. Even if you didn't enjoy your meal, which you will, but even if you didn't enjoy your meal, you no longer want food when you're done. So it's very temporary, that craving for a nice meal. It goes away as soon as you eat. So anyway, oh my God, I could just go on all day. I'm done. This is it. It's over. Goodbye.